Hello everyone, welcome to my video on ARE resource types. So this is the method that I use to sort of help organize my study materials. So I have three different categories of resource types. I have Remember Me, Understand Me, and Analyze Me. And these categories are based on the NCARB cognitive levels. So let me go into what those are. So basically this is the pyramid of cognitive levels. This is a very common diagram used in education. And here you see the levels from the lowest level of remembering, which is just basic knowledge or basic recall. And then you have creating, which is creating a brand new solution or a brand new product for whichever question. So you'll see a very similar diagram to this in the ARE handbook, whether the old or the new version. I checked. That's in both. So in the AREs, what we focus on are the understand and apply and the analyze and evaluate levels. So for understand and apply, this basically just means understanding the concepts and focusing on the standard, straightforward application of knowledge. And this also includes demonstrating that you understand the concepts to NCARB and applying that information. So the difference between this and remembering is the application. So it's not just, what color is this? This is supposed to be a specific type of thing. What color is it? So it's another level. Then we have analyze and evaluate, which requires a little bit of synthesis. So first you take those concepts, those overall concepts that you know, into their individual parts, and you determine how those parts relate to one another and to the overall structure, and then you arrive at judgments. So it requires integrating new information with existing information, and also requires prioritization of information. So those are the kind of tricky questions that you can sometimes get on the ARE exam where there's multiple right answers. So it's not just knowing what the concept is, it's also choosing the best answer based off of the situation. And it can also focus on non-standard situations where maybe it's something that doesn't happen very often in the field or something you may not have encountered, but your knowledge of the standard concepts helps you figure out how to overcome this problem. So going back into the resource types, even though, like I said, NCARB doesn't include Remember Me at the lowest level, I actually included it in my resource types because there is some stuff, I think, in the AREs that you just kind of have to know, or you should know what it is when you see it. So this could be some basic definitions or just understanding of certain concepts that maybe aren't as important to remember on the exam, but you just have to know what they are when you see them. For example, I would say like a field report would be an example of something that you should know exactly what it is when you see it, but the details of how it all comes together is not as important. It's kind of like a really basic concept. So you should know what it is, you should look at it and not be perplexed by it if you saw it on an exam. Understand Me is something that you need to look at with an additional level of detail. I would say it's a document that you need to read through at least once and familiarize yourself with this information. So for me, an example of this would be G704, which is a certificate of completion. And you should make sure that you read through it at least once and understand how the document comes together, the way the document works, and how you would maybe use it if you were presented with it. So that would be an Understand Me level type of resource. So it's not just something you should just kind of know what it is or know what the definition is, but you should have read through the document at least once. And then you have Analyze Me, which is the highest level for my categories. And that's a document I would recommend that you read through at least twice. Just become very familiar with this document and reread the notes that you take on it. And for this type of document or this type of resource, I'd say you should rewrite it, diagram, highlight, sketch it, whatever it takes for you to really know this information. Maybe learn it in multiple types of media or format. So maybe you read about it, then you watch a video about it, then you listen to an audio lecture about it. Probably an example I would give for this one would be maybe the A201, the General Conditions of Contract. Very important for a lot of the ARE practice exams, knowing that document, or the B101, for example, where you should have read through it multiple times and you should have a thorough understanding of what each clause or each article of that contract means. So yeah, that's my breakdown of my resource types based on the NCARB cognitive levels. Let me know if you have any questions or want any additional explanation. All right, thanks.